Hello and welcome to Financial Technology Frontiers. And we have a great conversation today alongside our concept of Technology Frontiers 2024. We are talking to industry leaders who keep sharing with us some insights from their day-to-day experiences, some from their research, some from their learnings from the peers, and some great crystal ball forecast for the year 2024. Joining me is Mr. Vaidyanathan, who is the CIO of Unity Bank, one of the latest entrants into the banking sector in India. And he has had a legacy of very interesting experiences from the technology field, from companies like TCS, SAP, to that of managing talent in the financial services sector. And finally, he is now the CIO of a small finance bank. Join me in welcoming Mr. Vaidyanathan of Unity Finance Bank. Vaidi, welcome to Financial Technology Frontiers.
Thanks for giving me an opportunity to talk and share my ideas.
Wonderful. Vaidi, we have seen how you have built up this interesting bank called as Unity Banks, which has been the latest entrant into the market. And we have seen the revolution that you have created by implementing core banking in 88 days. And more importantly, a very revolutionary core banking from a microservices architecture perspective. Can you just highlight what made it possible and how has the success story been of this entire implementation and what is the new opportunity that has opened up?
It's been interesting, almost close to 2 years with Unity Small Finance Bank. Like you said, we were the latest and the last to get the license sometime in end 2021, and we have completed 2 years in November. And and everything starts as somebody's daydream or a necessity. So unless and until there is a push or a pull or a fear of drowning, things don't happen. So something similar was the case with us. We got our license sometime in October 21. We commenced operations in November. We acquired another existing SIC bank in January and merged a couple of our parent entities in sometime in end Jan and mid-Feb timeframe. So from a technology perspective, not be wrong to say it was actually a mess because the bank that we acquired was in a suspended state for 2.5 years. 2.5 years of a bank being a suspended state and technology not being used. And we're in a state where, being the last, we had to compete with the well-established players in the marketplace who are way ahead and years of being there, that experience, and so the question is, why should somebody bank with us? What is it that we do different or we will do different and that will attract somebody to us? Apart from being very high FD rates or savings rate, that could be a short thing. But technology is one thing which probably gives a new entrant an edge over the old entrant. A new player or a newer technology, you'll have a edge for, say, a quarter or two, maybe a 6 months head start, but somebody will catch up. So it's always a catch-up game. You're following somebody, then you're leading, and then so there is always a competition in the marketplace. And we as a new age bank, we wanted to be completely digital, and but saying digital, being digital, there's a lot of effort involved into it, and you have to have the technology in place to even offer a mobile app or internet banking or any digital services. We will not be in the league of these thousands of branches, but we will be in 300-400 branches. We'd like to have those many customers through digital means. So the change of a CBS was actually necessitated. And based on the discussion, we realized that we can't do new age business with old age technology. And being new, the question was, if not now, then when? Because you become a big bank, established, and then become very difficult to change. We looked in the marketplace. So when you're looking at, there was always the choice of going to a well-established, old school, old age. But innovation in the CBS space has been almost nothing in the last 30 years. The very few couple of people who have come into with a new age digital core microservices architecture. So we took that route. We took a bold decision. The management backed me and supported the technology team. And then we took a call to replace our existing CBS. And but we had to do it in like I said, a necessity to do it before 31st of December 2022. And we pegged the date to say within 100 days. But once the planning, everything was done, we were successful in converting it from an existing to a new age digital core and a microservices architecture in 88 days flat. So
Super.
within that 88 days, we did migration, I mean, 3-4 rounds of migration, 2-3 rounds of UAT, training, testing, and no parallel run. We have actually converted that, and it's been successful. That's the reason I'm sitting here and talking to you.
Superb, superb. Now, when it comes to modernization of some of those legacies that you have had, how has been the challenges there? And do you still have a lot of things that needs to be modernized from the legacy, or is it all completely done now?
CBS one big piece. Now, the analogy to CBS changeover is like doing a open heart surgery while running a marathon. We have done that.
Mhm.
So, but CBS is not the
Okay.
only thing. CBS is the central piece and the core or the big piece there. But apart from that, we have 30 odd projects running at the same time today while I speak. And it's a monumental task and to get everything up and running before we tick all the boxes of being completely digital from a customer perspective and or being called a leader in digital. We are still not there, and but we are trying our best to be there. It'll take some time, but any digital transformation of an existing bank itself take 2 to 3 years. So
Mm.
expecting something overnight would be foolhardy. I mean, it will. I mean, if you have to do it right, do it right first time round, plan it well. The example that I always say, think thoroughly, choose carefully, plan properly and professionally, and then execute it ruthlessly. So once
Absolutely.
you're in the execution stage, then don't plan or think back. I mean, there's nothing called the ideal situation or the ideal decision or the best decision. I mean, there's something based on hindsight is always 6 by 6, and people can find fault. People will find fault, and that will
Absolutely.
keep happening till human beings are alive. But you have to
100%.
believe in yourself, your team, and your need on that day, and then take the right decision. And have a backup plan. Not many backup plans, but yeah, sometimes no backup plan works. Because you have to burn the bridges behind them so that they look only forward, they don't look backward. Yeah,
Let's get into the future.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Moving forward from here, now at least the basic fundamental, the basic engine is in place. You have done the heart surgery now. Now, let us try to see what are the new limbs that you want to attach to make sure that you leapfrog into the digital transformation age, be it in the area of payments, be it in the area of security, be it in the area of infrastructure, or be it in the area of risk management and compliance. What are those new things that you see happening in each of these areas, especially from your business perspective? Some of the key things that occupy the mind space of a CIO from the next 2 years perspective, because I think with technologies like cognitive AI and open AI kind of thing, you don't need to think beyond 2 years maximum.
Yeah, anything beyond 2 to 3 years is foolhardy to plan. I mean, you never know what is new going to come, what is around the bend. So you can see what it is there in the straight line. So, and that 2 to 3 years is fair enough. I mean, you can plan and execute and you can go live by that. So, as we see today, a lot of talk around generative AI and other artificial AI and a lot of things. But as we stand today, payment system has evolved a long way. And nowadays, customers don't come to the bank at all. I mean, they go to the internet or the mobile app, and they choose. I mean, it is not just there is hardly any difference between bank A, B, C, D, and E. Everybody does everything. Every technology is available. So unless and until a particular technology is not available with a bank as an offering, then there's no difference between all these banks. So, but it has to be very smooth. Technology for the heck of it is something which I would like to avoid. Technology that works seamlessly, smoothly, and the customer is happy about it. It is not just about acquiring a customer, but retaining and servicing the customer, keeping him happy. So that's very important. And brick and mortars will be there, but it will be more and more through the digital channels that the banks will look to acquire, and payment systems will evolve. And today, as we speak, you're paying through the phone and maybe card is a dying product, ATM is a dying product, and maybe cash. I don't know. Maybe 10 years down the line, you may not even see a physical cash. It could be a digital cash. Some banks are already trying, already there. Like I said, technology or tech for the heck is something that I would like to avoid. And there are things where a customer would like to see your face and talk to you and get an answer immediately rather than putting in numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then wait for somebody to come or listen to music and all that. So that needs to be avoided. But today we are looking at getting our all technology piece in place, all the 30 odd projects that we are doing. It should see the light of the day and it should work seamlessly. And the end customer should be happy.
What are the key technologies that you are working on today, or what is cooking in the kitchen today?
We need to get our mobile banking app, our internet module up in a short while. We have a banking as a service, which is working, and we're working with the fintechs to offer that. But yeah, one of the things which is very close is hyper personalization. It is a customer centric approach where you are creating products to suit a person, suit an individual, and not a set of individuals or a kind of individuals. So hyper personalization is something which definitely is very close to my heart and definitely will start cooking in the kitchen.
So you were speaking about hyper personalization and
Yeah.
generative.
Generative AI and hyper personalization is the thing. And that's where, like I said, repetitive tasks will be automated so that, people can be used of other areas and repetitive tasks can be put to, automation completely.
What are the key areas of automation where you see a lot of scope in the near future?
It will always be customer centric. Everything and anything depends on the customer. No, you're doing everything to acquire a customer, retain a customer, and that's how you can be profitable. I mean, if you do anything that doesn't, end up beneficial for the customer, I think then it's not be. I mean, in the long run, it may not be useful.
With this Data Privacy Act coming into place and a lot of emphasis being laid on, the handling of data the right manner, do you see any great role for automation or any other new technologies to come in place to empower the banks to ensure the right kind of data privacy solutions that they can probably use?
Yeah, it is already a hot topic and a lot of debating on that. And I'm sure a lot of things are happening in a lot of CIO minds and the tech guys at the back room. And something will definitely come up very soon whereby, you can automate most of it and leave very little to, chance. I mean, cybersecurity
Mhm.
is very important and critical. Security itself is a very important thing. Like I was mentioning before, the thief will always be ahead of the police. So we have to keep an eye on it and ensure that, I mean, we are the custodian of the public funds and we can't
Mhm.
take it lightly. And going to be a key task. And cybersecurity and technology to support that and data privacy. If data is stolen, I mean, it can be very, very dangerous. I mean, we are aware of that.
Absolutely. It is not just technology risk, it is also reputation risk for the
Yeah,
organization. So if you see the overall agenda of budget of a CIO tomorrow in the banking sector, I'm just speaking about generally as an industry, where do the maximum bucks go as a percentage of investment go? Is it more towards into the futuristic technologies, or is it in the existing maintenance of the existing technologies, or is it going more into research and development for a competitive advantage, or whatever it is? I mean, what does comes to your mind?
as it stands today, if I were to say, the banks are very busy with the getting the current technology very smooth and seamless. So 55 to 60% of that would be maintaining on that. Say 30% would be on futuristic and 10% on this R&D. That would be my take. I mean, people may have a different opinion, but today, if I were to see, almost 55 to 60% is on ensuring that the existing technology is foolproof, smooth, seamless, and doesn't have flaws. You have to do something new, and there are a lot of things. As we meet and exchange ideas across the board with various AIs in the marketplace, not only banking, it could be a differentiator
Retail.
for us in the banking. You can't shut your eyes off and just forget about the future. I mean, you have to have future. That's the reason I said, say 25 to 30% on this future thing, and 10 to 15% is, ideating and blue sky thinking and researching on something what you can do, what others can't think of. Yeah.
Correct. Interesting. See, that is the perspective where you can get an idea of what next.
Like I say, no, it has to be something which is workable and see the light of the day. I mean,
Mhm.
many ideas die in the mind itself, then some on the table, and then very few ideas actually come to light. So, but I think you should not stop thinking. I mean,
As a CIO, what are the key bottlenecks that occupy the top of your mind today?
Keeping the user happy. User is actually two. The customer is also my user. The user is also my customer. The user, I mean the bankers within the bank, the employees, because everything and anything is dependent on technology. If somebody says the technology is not doing anything, I say just cut off that Wi-Fi for 10 minutes and see the fun. You will know what technology is doing. So technology has a say in everybody's life, every minute in the organization. And when the customer is transacting through digital channels, I mean, if he presses enter and it takes more than 3 4 seconds and we get frustrated. I mean, even I do that as a CIO. When I'm banking with somebody else and the Wi-Fi is slow, then I mean, by very nature, I'll start pressing the enter key once again. So now, but it's only 2 3 seconds extra. I mean, but so the customer's expectation is very high, and they are spoiled by not only bank, the other vendors like Amazon and other thing who give them absolutely fancy and lovely stuff. And so our challenge is not to keep pace with the other banks, and we'll look at what other industries offering. We can take a cue from there and maybe build it into our offering and make it better.
Interesting. And what are those kind of key top 4 or 5 technologies where you see an investment happening in the near future? Not just business, but the technologies per se. Is it AI or whatever it is?
Generative AI is one thing which is a hot topic, and many banks are planning to do it. And data analytics is going to be a big thing, and as it's going to go further into that, and where because data analytics and hyper personalization are both are very interrelated. We need to have more and more data on that, and like you said, payment systems will evolve. I mean, your mode of payments and uh, being and banking to the masses, where today I think in the far-flung areas in India are still starved of banking services, and where all the network providers are there. So if they are there, we should be there, and that's a drive, that's sort of push which the government is also planning. So the banking expansion, inclusion is going to happen, and cloud, of course. A lot of ideas about cloud is still in the cloud. We have a multi-cloud strategy, cloud optimization. Using a cloud is like using electricity, switch on, switch off, and your meter keeps on going. If you forget to switch off, you pay the bill. So
Correct.
that itself is a 24/7 kind of a thing. You need to monitor, and also whatever investment in technology that you made, you need to ensure that you get the best out of it. Not just keep on investing on something just for the fancy or just for the heck of it, but ensure that you get a return on your investments.
Is there any retraction from the cloud today, or are CIOs rethinking the cloud strategy today?
Apart from my CBS, everything is on cloud today. I mean, I don't have a problem.
Okay.
Like I said, I was in a forum where he explained, I mean, if you're saying the bill is coming very high, it means you have not switched it off when you don't need it. You
Hmm.
should switch on and off and monitor it very. So monitoring of what is on cloud and whether you're using it optimally is very important. Just not putting on cloud and just forgetting about it. So I mean,
Mhm.
like you said, you're going on holiday in your house, you forgot to switch off a couple of lights. I know that the electricity bill is going to.
Interesting. And when it comes to cognitive AI or generative AI, and you are speaking about, see, ultimately, what are you banking on is on data. Okay. And the data today with the privacy laws and all coming in, do you see it playing a spoil sport in getting the data of the future? How do organizations work around it? Because today you are working on somebody else's data. So how do you
Yeah, I mean,
do?
that means you have to have a technology where the data, you generate the data and store it, and then you mine the data, you create. So you have to create that source within your organization, not
Mhm.
depending on external. External will be available, but like I say, as and when more and more screws are tightened, that will become difficult to access. From that perspective, I think whatever you have, you have to utilize the existing data to the full. Have you leveraged what is available?
So does that mean that you have to grow vegetables in your own home orchard and start consuming it rather than waiting for everything from the market to come?
I mean, different strokes for different folks and different style at different times. But generally, no. But you can't be a doctor, engineer, a plumber, electrician all in one. So, like I said, you have to go to the specialist when a need occurs, and then when specialists do good jobs. I believe in specialists, and that's the reason why even when we have our DCDR, it is with entity which is a specialized thing. So we don't have our own DCDR. So
Mhm.
I mean, it's for the just for the heck of it, if you want to grow it on the backyard, fine. But does it make sense? I mean, you need to do a thorough, thought through kind of a thing on that.
Absolutely. And if I may ask you, in next 1 or 2 years, what are the key things that you see happening, projects that come in the place of data or in the place of automation or any other such kind of major projects that you are working upon, which is not yet taken up, but in the process of taking up?
A lot of discussion is going around it, but we are at the moment busy with getting the basic things right. So once that is done and dusted, these existing 30 odd projects see the light of the day, then we will be looking at futuristic thing where we can create that 10% ideating and blue sky thinking where we can beat the others in their own game. This
Mhm.
88 days was more of a necessity internal than to showcase to somebody. But I think this is set the cat among the pigeons. It is kind of a collateral benefit, I would say, for something that we try to do. But similarly, a conscious effort to do something different will come once you have your basic technology in place, up and running smoothly without any hindrance.
Perfectly all right. Thank you so much for this wonderful conversation. And we would like to continue such interesting conversation. Thank you very much.